podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Bigre will look to pick it up and he'll go on here. There's two up here, Bradford. It's Bigre. He's got to make this count. It's Bigre. It's 1-1.
Show on the road, shall we? Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to Chickens on the Loose podcast live. And we are on Walsall Vs Bradford, and we are live on X, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and other social sites. So if you're watching on YouTube and other social sites, get your questions in for the panel, get your score predictions in, and other bits and bobs. And in today's podcast, we'll be talking about the post-match Carlisle, the pre-match Walsall game, also a bit of a bonus because we won't be doing a podcast on Monday next week. We'll be talking about the EFL Trophy versus Mansfield, and today I should hopefully be joined by Lee and Robbie.
Hello.
Indeed. Good evening, everybody.
So, Lee, starting off with you, what was your thoughts on the Carlisle game?
Pretty much how I thought it'd go, to be fair. Improved performance. We've been saying all along, certain Mr. Walker should be playing from the off and not coming on. You know, I just had an instant impact, didn't he? Cookies first. Relatively simple. We went off the boil a little bit. But it was always going to be a game like that. He kind of just went the way I thought it would, and we got the 3 points, which is always a bonus.
Yeah. Robbie, if you can hear me, what were your thoughts on the game against Carlisle?
Yeah, exactly as Lee said, it were a tough game. We went out to get the 3 points, which we did. We knew it wouldn't be a walkover due to obviously the playoffs, a bit of end-to-end banter, shall I say. But yeah, we got the job done. Nice to see Walker in the midfield, fresh of breath air, can't speak. Sam Walker had a howler, but made up for it with Cookie's brace, which were nice to see him show up as well. Hopefully we improve by there and go on to obviously tomorrow against Walsall.
Yeah. My thoughts on the Carlisle game is Carlisle were very poor at points. They were very lucky to score. I know poor Sam Walker must have been on his gloves or on the ball and it just slipped into the back of the net. Everybody is human. We are not robots, so mistakes do happen. So I felt sorry for him there, and I'm glad Andy Cook did save us. Lee, what was your thoughts on the... because we've had a couple... Obviously, we're live on X and on TikTok. So we've had people question, what were your thoughts on the Harry Lewis performance, the former Bradford City player?
I thought it was typical. I've never been his biggest fan. He's a work in progress, isn't he? And he very much still is. He's going to be a good goalkeeper, but I've always, even when he was with us, had a problem or a worry about his mental side. It's been well documented. And he kind of, I don't know, he just still did show those same flaws, if you like, for me. Sam, the handling thing was just a handling thing. They didn't score. We did it for them. Which is typical Bradford, I guess. Just saying that.
And Robbie, what about yourself? What were your thoughts on Harry Lewis?
I thought he had a decent game. Stopped back-to-back save, which obviously kept him in it, obviously at 1-1. Obviously nice round of applause for him when he come under the cop. Couple of boos, which obviously you expect from Bradford fans these days. Solid game for him. Obviously didn't get 3 points for his end. But yeah, I thought he did well. Obviously his return as well to Valley Parade. But yeah, I'll give him an 8 out of 10.
And last but not least, what did you think on another former Bradford City player, Charlie White's performance?
Woeful. Yeah, I thought somebody were going to run on with a wheelbarrow at one point to get him round pitch a bit quicker. He didn't have a good game, did he? He missed an absolute sitter, didn't he, in first half? It was just like, did it come too early for him? Were he still waking up? Were he still on bus? I don't know. No, didn't have a good game, didn't Charlie? He's been a great player, but his legs not there anymore, are they? I don't think.
And Robbie, what were your thoughts on Charlie White?
I didn't think he played, did he? No, I'm joking. Like Lee was saying, he did have the opportunity to score an header from across. Missed a sitter, hit the post, but apart from that, nowhere to be seen. Just a bad day at office for Charlie White. I'd expect more off him, obviously coming to Bradford as well, a point to prove. But yeah, just an off day for him. A couple of Carlisle fans weren't happy with him at the end of the game, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I heard Brad Halliday emptied his pockets out and he found a couple of crosses in there, and apparently he emptied his car keys, his wallet and stuff, and then he also emptied Charlie White out of his back pocket. So, right, so moving on now to Walsall vs Bradford, but also before we do over to that, TikTok, other social sites, get your score predictions in. Thank you for getting a 10.1k on TikTok, but get your score predictions in, get your questions in for Lee and Robbie and other people who hopefully might join soon. So moving over to Walsall now versus Bradford. The kickoff is at 3 p.m. So it's Saturday the 14th of September, 3 p.m. at the Poundland Basket Stadium. The referee is Lewis Smith, and just a bit of stats on Lewis Smith. He's had 6 appearances in total. He's had 1 appearance in the Premier League where he's dished out 5 yellow cards, no second yellows, no reds, and no penalties. In the Championship, he's had 2 appearances, 5 yellow cards, no second yellows, no reds, no penalties. In League One, he's had 1 appearance, 5 yellow cards, no second yellows, no reds, no penalties. In the EFL Cup, he's had 2 appearances, 3 yellow cards, no second yellows, no penalties, no reds and 1 penalty. Altogether, he's had 6 appearances, he's dished out 18 yellow cards, no second yellows, no reds, and he's given 1 penalty. So just going into a little bit of insight on the game. So Bradford City's top goal scorer is Andy Cook, who has scored 3, who's actually the GOAT of Bradford City. He's had no assists and he's played 5 matches. Alan, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, for Walsall, he's had 2 goals, 1 assist, and he's played 5 games. Walsall is playing home against Bradford City at the here we go, insight. So Walsall have scored 6 goals in their last 5 matches, haven't kept a clean sheet in 5 matches, unbeaten in 4 home games. Bradford have scored 8 goals in their last 5 matches. Andy Cook has created the most big chances of Bradford City 2. Andy Cook has the most shots on target per match for Bradford City of 2.1. And then quickly going over to the Simon Parker article and the TNA. And you know I'm like pronouncing names. I am absolutely shambolic, so I do apologise if I am butchering anyone's name here. So the Walsall team, in goal is Simkin, Allen, Williams, Blue, Barnett, Gills, Stick, Earring, Weir, Hall and Lowe, with clearly lacking Matt, Amber, Johnson, Maher and Hornby. Leading top goal scorer is Nathan Lowe with 3. League position 6. In the last 4 games, they have lost against DNK Dons. They've drawn in the cup against Birmingham. They've won 3-2 at Cheltenham and Huddersfield. They've won 3-2. And moving on to Bradford City team, possible starting lineups: Walker, Debate, Byrne, Kelly, Halliday, Smallwood, Wright, Walker, Adwar, Sanderson and Cook, with Patterson, Poynton, Oliver, Shepherd, Smith, Ben and Doyle on bench. Leading top goal scorer, like we said, is Andy Cook. League position is currently 5th. Last 4 games, Bradford City have won 2-1. We drew against Newcastle under 21s in the cup, but lost on penalties. We lost against Grimsby 2-1, and we bet Bromley 3-1. Team news: Cav is still out and not expected back in training until Monday. Lewis Smith from Wigan was in the middle of City's goalless draw against Stockport in December. And for people who bet, the match odds are Walsall 11-8, City 2-1, draw 23-10. And last time these sides met, City came from 2 down to beat Walsall 3-2 in April, despite Jamie Walker's red card. I'm going to have a quick breather. So now we're going to move, let Lee and Robbie take over. So Lee and Robbie, starting off with Lee, what is your thoughts on the Walsall game?
Well, Walsall, typically a tough place to go. A bit of a bogey side for Bradford down there. We've had our creditable wins, and I'm hoping that tomorrow's going to be no different. I've bagged us on the golden goal thing for scoring first goal on 3 minutes, so I think we can do it. The referee sounds interesting in that he doesn't give many penalties, does he? So he's like, does he actually referee games, or does he just do like the rest of us and watch? I don't know. The odd yellow card here and there. He's I don't know. Interesting. It's going to be. I think we need a tougher ref. He doesn't sound that sort of, because it's going to be a tough game. There's no doubt about it at Walsall. It always is. Always is. Midland clubs, aren't they? They're tough. They know their stuff.
And what about yourself, Robbie? What's your thoughts on the Walsall game?
Just give me 2 seconds, John. You go to Diane, please.
Okay. Miss Diane, welcome aboard. You're sneaking through the side entrance again. So while Robbie's doing his hairdo, what were your thoughts on the Carlisle game?
At least we won. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want anybody going about my goalies. We won. That's the main thing. Shut them people up about Andy Cook not being able to score. So I think they went home with tails between the legs.
Okay, and what's your thoughts on the Walsall game, Diane?
It's a 6-pointer because they're only a point behind us. So I don't know, it's going to be a tough game, I think, tomorrow. Hopefully he might keep the same team as we played last week. So I don't know, it's 6-pointers. It'll be a tough game. Hopefully we'll win them. So there we go.
Are you now free, Robbie?
10 more seconds.
Okay. Bit of filling in. So with Walsall, I hope we stick with the same team. We've had a question come through on Twitter, thoughts on Patterson. We'll get to that in a minute, Oliver. So with Walsall, I hope we stick with the same team. They played well. I hope Sam Walker's recovered from his incident, what he had. Oh, his accident, shall we say, what he had. So I hope he's a lot better after that.
As my dad called him, Butterfingers.
Yeah, it's like we said earlier, Dan. I think he just had a bit of water, a lot of water on ball, and probably just slipped out of his gloves. It was water. He wanted people are human, they're all robots, but we were lucky. Andy Cook, absolute legend.
It just happens, stuff like that. We've seen it time and time again.
Are you free, Robbie, now?
Yeah, sorry, just at work. No,
you don't get this on live You don't get this on live radio, do you?
Apologies. No, going back from last year's game against Walsall, obviously 2-0 down. Probably first 20 minutes we was. Put it back 2-2 just before the break. I think it was Jamie Walker got a second yellow. Scripted 3-2 win. I think the ref will be a big issue, I think, for this game coming up. As Lee said, not many yellows, not many penalties. Is he a ref to obviously play advantage and go from there? It'd be nice to see. Yeah, I don't think it's a walk in the park. I think it will be obviously a tough game. But yeah, hopefully we'll get the 3 points. But yeah, I think it will be a tough game overall.
Did anybody got anything else they want to say about the Walsall game?
How many are we taking? Is it just 1,200, I think?
We've sold 2,000 but tickets. We've been dished out 2,000 tickets, but I don't know how much has been sold.
You have to get to the ticket office today before 2, but you can pay at gate tomorrow.
So, Diane, what do you think the score will be tomorrow? But before we get it, Diane, before we speak, TikTok, X, other social sites, get your score predictions in, and I will read them out. Back to you, Diane.
Oh, I don't know. Let me think. I'm going to go 2-1 to us.
2-1 to us. Okay. Lee?
Yes, sir. Well, I missed that because wife were talking to me.
Oh, blame it, wife, Lee. Score predictions for tomorrow, bud.
I'm looking forward to potentially another 2-1, but 2-0 would do me fine. We just need the points at the moment, and as you said, you've got a question about Patterson. I think he's going to get a bit more game time with Walker because Sasovic is out for potentially another couple of months. I got slated for talking about his potential longevity, and there he is, injured again. Awesome. Sometimes I hate being right.
I know. Robbie, what about yourself? What's your score predictions for tomorrow?
2-0 tomorrow for me.
And can I get goal scorers off you? Can I get goal scorers off you, Robbie, or are you keeping that close to your chest?
Andy Cook and Jamie Walker for me.
What about yourself, Diane? Goal scorers for tomorrow?
Just any of them that fight net. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say goal scorers, just any of them that fight net.
And what about yourself, Lee? Goal scorers for tomorrow?
I will agree. Cook to extend his run at the moment. He looked lean, mean and keen. Should have had an hat-trick last Saturday. But, you know, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And I think it will tomorrow.
Okay, so I'm going to think it's going to be 3-0 City tomorrow. Andy Cook going to score the double with Sanderson to score. And TikTok has not let me down today. So we've had Ben on TikTok. He's going to brave it here. 3-1 City, Sanderson hat-trick. Bear with me. Let's see if I can find any more, because there's absolutely shed loads of comments. I don't think anyone else has commented. Zoe thinks it's going to be 2-0 City, Cook and Sanderson. And just see if there's any more cropped in there.
I think he deserves a goal as well.
I think it's a good call, Sanderson, to be honest. He looks good.
See if anyone put it on there. Right, so before we get to Oliver's question, weather forecast for tomorrow. I'm going to actually admit something. The weather forecast absolutely let me down the other day. I said it was going to be cracking flags, and they end up absolutely sailing it down at Bradford City for the first couple of games.
Just like your MK Doms.
Just like my MD Con prediction. So I've changed provider. I'm going for the good old fashioned BBC, you never lie. So the sun rises tomorrow at 6:40 a.m. and the sunset at 19:26 tomorrow afternoon. And I've just looked at the wrong one. Right, so yeah, sun rises at 6:41, sets at 19:24 tomorrow. So it's going to start off with a bit of coldness in the air, and then it's going to be 8 degrees, and it's going to keep going up until 11 o'clock, where it's going to hit 13 degrees, the sun out, and then typically in Walsall, the sun's going to go behind the clouds, with a bit of sun appearing again at 7 o'clock and then dropping down to 11 degrees at night. And that's your weather forecast. Right. So, Diane, we've had a question coming from, I've got 2 questions actually. One question, first of all, from Oliver on Twitter / whatever it's called, X now. Thoughts on Patterson. So, Diane, what's your thoughts on Patterson?
If we can keep him injury-free, that'll be good. He is a good player. We just need to keep him injury-free this season. And he has been playing good since he's come off the bench and everything.
Okay. Lee?
I like Patterson, and I think we're probably going to see a better Patterson with Walker playing alongside him. I just think he's got the energy. He's got an eye for a goal. He's got an eye for a pass and all, which is something we, at times, badly need. Yeah, I like him.
And last but not least, Robbie.
It's probably a super sub for me, Pato. Injury known, which obviously we know about that. Obviously with Walker fitting in now, as long as he keeps fit, I think we've got no problem in midfield whatsoever. Yeah, I'll stick with Walker and Pato for a sub for me.
I think Patterson is a good player when he's fit. He can score long-range goals, what I love seeing in football. So hopefully he'll come score some goals when fit. Right, we've had Sophie on TikTok. Lincoln fan here. Thoughts on J. Ben, the defender? So, Diane, again, what's your thoughts on J. Ben, the defender?
We've not really seen him play. We only saw him play in the cup match against Newcastle under 21, so you can't really say out unless he gets a game. But he looked pretty good when he's played. He did start for us against Newcastle, didn't he? I can't bloody remember. It's that far back.
I know, I've slept since then. I think he did.
Yeah, he did. He looked alright once he did, but he's got to sort of like gel into the team and everything, so hopefully he might get a few more appearances off the bench.
Yeah. Lee, what about yourself? Thoughts on J. Ben from...
He looked solid. He looked solid. I thought he was one of the better players at back, to be honest, against Newcastle. We didn't see much in that game of... now, say it after me, Johnny. Diabate.
Yeah, I've learnt his name. I've learnt his name now. I've got it down to a T. I heard it over the PA system. It's like diabetes, innit? It's not diabetes. It's diabetes.
It's not, no. Type 2 or type 1, as a lot of people have said.
Yeah. So it's pronounced.
The other player I like is that lad from Wigan that came on. He looked class. He's on loan with us, isn't he, for the season? So I don't know. We're well served on bench for midfielders. We've got Poynton that can come on, and we know how good he is. He should be in team, but, you know, we know. Them that know. And we know.
And Robbie.
Yeah, he's only young. Played against under 21's Newcastle. I think he's 23 years of age, I think he is. I'll probably keep him for the cup games at the moment. You can't really change our back five at the moment. I think they've been spot on, especially against Carlisle recently. Yeah, it'd be nice to see more of him, but I think cup runs at the moment for him, and then see how he does from there.
Okay, right. My thoughts on the J. Ben, I think he's a good player, but I can't quote on it because I've not really seen the player. Right, so going on now to the latest Bradford City news. So, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but David Sharp, who is like the director of football, shall we say, has been having a chat with the TNA, and one of the, going on about Alex Gilead. So why did the club let Alex Gilead go? It was possibly the most difficult decision. One, because he's been at the club and so long and he's always available and rarely injured. However, we couldn't justify keeping a player again on decent wage when he wasn't making the match day squad. So that quote there, what I've just read out there, you can look at that in a way, but we'll get that to in a minute. We've had some quality number 8s or 10s now. We are ahead of Alex midfield-wise. He was really down the pecking order. His only game time would have probably come as a right-back cover for Brad Halliday, but we didn't want to keep someone on a wage around just in case Brad got injured. That's why we brought a cheaper loan to cover us there. I'm a big believer in trying to get your money on the pitch and just hate players sat on decent wage after not making the squad. It's frustrating because you haven't got unlimited amounts of money in our league and carry big squads. The main thing is trying to get value for money and getting on the pitch. So what's everybody's thoughts on that little bit I've just read out there? Starting off with Diane.
So I'm trying to do my Sudoku while I'm talking. I don't know. I liked Alex Gilead, but as he said, if he's going to be the only cover for our right wing back and keeping him, we might as well fee the wages up and give him to Shrewsbury. But I did really like Alex Gilead, and as I said before, it was sad to see him go. But it's one of them things. It's football. You knew that he wasn't in the match day squad, so at least he's not being left on the bench or left out of the squad just to warm a seat up in Valley Parade or wherever we are. We might have his wage, so that's one good thing.
Okay. And what about yourself, Lee?
I feel a little bit sad for him because I think he's been outdone by. He's one of the fittest, he is the fittest player in the squad. He never gets injured. He's never let anybody down ever, that I can remember. He's not been the most prolific in front of goal, fair enough, but he does the job. Wherever you put him, he don't let you down. I feel sorry for him because he went out of favour with a certain Mr. Alexander, I think, which is not his fault. I think we'll pay for letting him go, personally. I think we'll pay for that. Because he is a good player. A very good player. And he scores goals when we send him elsewhere. Do we not remember?
Yeah, true. Robbie, what about yourself?
Yeah, I think the kid deserved a lot more. I don't agree with the TNA on that interview or whatever it was. I think he was cover for right back, but I think he was cover for a lot of spaces, positions where he'd actually play. Solid number 8, 100%. I'm surprised we did let him go. Obviously, we've got Dane Oliver coming back on such a high wage as well. Other players, what we should have got rid of, personally. But I think the kid deserved League One 100%, same with Jake Young. Yeah, I think it'll bite us in the bum in a couple of months' time. So yeah, I think I'll miss him. Well, I'll miss him anyway.
I agree on both of those, personally.
So that's set me up really well, Robbie, for the next question I'm going to ask you. But so then, my thoughts on this. Tell me if I'm wrong, if I've read this article wrong. But it seems like he's saying that his wage was too big for the club, and they didn't want a guy on high wages sitting on the bench, basically draining the wages. Robbie, you got your hand up, mate?
Yeah, they're on a high wage because to get the job done. That's the only issue. And obviously Bradford can't agree with that. But then Oliver, he did get the job done at the start of the season when it did come. Obviously went out on loan, probably the best option for us because we couldn't afford it with the situation we're in. But I think with Gilead, I think you pay the high price to get the high quality player you get. And I think Alex Gilead was a high quality player we actually had, who actually gave us the motivation. Last couple of winners, obviously against Grimsby, one of them what I remembered when he passed to point, and he's always in the right position, always gets you forward. I've never seen him pass back as well when we did have him. But yeah, I think you pay obviously high wage for a decent player. Look at Cook, he shows up. Gilead would have been another one. Platt as well, I'm surprised we got rid of Platt. I'm still shocked to this day why we got rid of him. The amount of Notts County fans what have come into my TikTok live example and said what a player he is, and I'm like, yeah, he is. But obviously managers see different, somewhat what we don't see as a fan. But yeah, just go from there, I guess.
So Robbie set me up with a pinpoint pass here. So what about Jake?
Can I just say, Vidane Oliver would have been the logical one to go. I would have said. He's done nothing for us really, has he?
We're still living from the James Anson and Nicky Wells height at the top. That's what we're thinking about.
Yeah, but Vidane Oliver's not an Anson, is he?
I'll just get you before you jump onto it, Johnny. But Jake Young, in his interview, he said he wanted League One football, and we couldn't provide him that. We gave him how many seasons with us? Didn't provide it. Same with Gilead, he probably wanted League One football. Same with Matt Platt. We promised him how long now for League One, and we haven't reached that final destination. So I think it's their choice. We haven't made that choice to get rid of with a high wage. I think they've chose that for themselves, and I don't blame them.
Okay. So just like a Brad Halliday ball to me. What about the Jake Young scenario? Jake's more or less made it clear, or his agent did, that he was happy to stay at Bradford as long as he got a deal that made him one of the top earners at the club. He had done nothing to justify that here. Our response was for him to prove it first that he's worth it. If you look over the course of his time at Bradford, he only made 16 appearances, and people who love the XG stuff expect goals was 4.1. Now, Andy Cook is nearly 4.0 this season, and we are only 5 games in. Yes, we sat down. We sit down when players do business for us, but we're not having players just, I can't pronounce that word, to us when they've done it for half a season elsewhere. Jake had done it for Swindon. I've seen plenty of players do it there. Harry McCurdy, for instance, moved on and hasn't done anything since. Swindon have a style of play that suits their attacking players. Jake over performance in his XG was quite a lot there. I think it was just under 10 for his starts at Swindon. He scored 16 goals. That don't last. At Barrow, when he went on loan, his XG was just 1. I hope he does the business at Stevenage, but we can't let players tell us what they want on back of a half a good season when they haven't done it for us. it was an easy decision, in my opinion. It had happened. You don't want a player here that is unhappy because he felt his wage wasn't justifiability. So reading that there, that seems like he wanted a high wage, and with his performances on the pitch was shocking for us. So let's go straight into Diane. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, if they'd let Jake Young stay with us at the beginning of last season, it might have been worth his wage, because don't forget, Mark Hughes let him go on loan to Swindon. So you can't blame Graham Alexander for sort of like, or David Sharp for saying that about him, because we only got him back for half a season. And as you said, he was injured, so we didn't get to see the best of his ability, unlike the Swindon lot did. And like, he scored goals for fun for Swindon. Like, he was injured, he never got back from the injury, and if they want to go for higher wage, they've got to. They need to go, but if he's getting first team football now, so I wish him well at Stevenage. I can't even remember where he went then.
And what about yourself, Lee?
I just think he's always wanted to go. He just... Diane's right. Mark Hughes didn't fancy him. Alexander's come in and seen him firsthand. All right, he's been injured for a lot of that. But he hasn't really pulled up any trees, has he, really? He's just been... It's been met, if you want, you know. He's just not been at the races. So probably good business getting rid, I suppose. If he's happy now, that's what it's all about. If he's happy where he is, good luck to the lad. It's as simple as that. If he don't want to be here, we don't want him here. It's as simple as that.
And last but not least, Robbie.
Yeah, we can all moan as we want. Obviously, going to Swindon, banging him in. We all wanted him back. Got him back, for January. Obviously, nervous of him going. Bids coming from wherever. But like Lee said, Mark Hughes didn't want him. Alexander didn't want him. So there must have been some that they've both seen what we haven't. I think we got the best out of the deal from him. Obviously, a sell on cause, 6-digit numbers, which I assume will probably be around about 300k, a bit more. For 16 appearances for Bradford, I think that's probably the best thing out of that. Hopefully he shows up in League One, who knows, but yeah, I think we got the best deal out of that. But yeah, all the moaners saying we wanted him back scoring goals, but the thing is, if he did come back and he didn't provide us the service what he did at Swindon, I think we would have lost a lot of money out of him. Yeah, I think we got the best deal out of it. I think we did the right decision to get rid. And yeah, a bit of money in his back pockets, hopefully get us up the league.
And I see we've had Miss Callie and Tony sneak through the side entrance. So, starting off with Tony, what was your thoughts on the Carlisle game?
I thought it was a thoroughly professional performance. I thought we did what we had to do. Knew it was going to be tough. But what pleased me more was every one of them put a shift in. And I mean everyone. They grafted. And if we could play like that every week, which we know it's not going to happen, but play like that every week, we should absolutely walk this league.
And then same question to Miss Callie. What were your thoughts on the Carlisle game?
Sorry for being late, by the way. I've had an emergency in the field. Like Tony just said, every player put a shift in. Jamie Walker, for me, stood out. He run his legs off all 90 minutes, didn't give up. Even if he lost the ball, he didn't give up till he got it back. They looked like a proper team, proper gelled team who were going to go far this season to me.
And then to Tony, what were your thoughts on the Carlisle game? Not Carlisle. What's your thoughts on the Walsall game, sorry?
Again, I think it'll be another tough game. But if the belief's there and they play like they played last Saturday, then I don't see an issue. I think it's another 3 points hit bag.
And same to you, Callie. What's your thoughts on the Walsall game?
Like Tony said, it's going to be tough. I think they've got to be full of confidence going into the Walsall game after the Carlisle game. Got to be. So I'm going for a definite win. I think we're gonna I think it'll be a two, you know what I mean, we'll score, they'll score, we'll score, they'll score. I think it's going to be one of them kind of games tomorrow. But I think we'll just nick it.
What score's it going to be, Kelly? Score prediction?
I'm going to go for 3-2.
Tony, what about yourself? Score prediction for tomorrow?
2-1.
Okay. And what's your thoughts on Alex Gillard leaving, Tony?
Gutted. But I just couldn't see where he were going to fit in. I'd have kept him and had him for last possibly half an hour, but I was gutted that he left. But good luck to the lad, he's got a league higher, and I think he'll do a good job up Shrewsbury, I really do.
And same to you, Kelly, thoughts on Gillard leaving?
I'm a bit 50-50 with Gilly because he wasn't always consistent, was he? He had bad games and good games, whereas I'm assuming Jamie Walker kind of have took his place now. Is that right?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. So over, if I had to pick the two, obviously I'm going to go with Jamie Walker. But yeah, I'm sad to see him go because he did put shifts in and he was Bradford. You know what I mean? He was always remembered fondly, I think, by Bradford fans. But yeah, wish him well in League One. I think he deserves to be in League One and not League Two like the rest of us. But yeah, good luck to him.
And it's like a tennis match. Tony, what's your thoughts on the Jake Young who's now gone to Stevenage? You happy he's gone? Are you upset?
I want to be upset, but after reading what Alexander's had to say, I'm not bothered. Good luck to him. There's nobody bigger than club. And, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, but let's face it, we managed without him all them months, so sorry.
And just like a tennis swing, Callie for the match point. What were your thoughts?
It was in. Actually, Robbie showed me a video today of what Jake Young has had to say for himself at Stevenage, and he's never wanted to play for us. I don't think he's never wanted to be there. So if that's how he feels, on your bike, mate. We don't need players like that think they're above everything else. Yeah, he did well at Swindon. I don't like the guy. I'm sorry. I don't. Yeah, he's a good footballer, but like Tony said, one player don't make a team, and I think we've got a good team right now. But
before you did join, Callie, I went through the Jake Young interview with the TNA.
Oh right,
not Jake Young, sorry. The interview with Sharp about basically he got a load of questions thrown at him. It's on the TNA website if you're interested.
Yeah,
and it went about Jake Young. And how I read it between the lines were, he obviously did well at Swindon, smashed goals in left, right and centre, came to Bradford, couldn't hit a barn door to save his life.
No.
So then he's gone in wanting a pay rise, wanted to be a big earner. And then because he's done crap for us, the club have gone, yeah, you're not getting your contract, mate. And then obviously Stevenage have come in with the money.
Yeah.
Gone, yeah, you can have him.
Which is absolutely right.
What's that, sorry, Robbie?
I still don't think we gave him a long enough of time to actually prove to us what is good. He's come back to Bradford with change of 5 players around him, probably, maybe 6. He's got to adjust probably 2 months, maybe the longest. I think we gave him about 2 weeks, 3 weeks to actually prove it.
Which game did he actually come on as sub for? Which game was it? Was it Grimsby?
It was a home game. I know he came on a cup game, didn't he? Didn't do much.
That's it, yeah, the cup, yeah.
But I still think we could have at least got another month out of him, maybe, to actually prove. But if he knows his worth, obviously, like Tony says, that no player's bigger than the club, then it's fair enough. But I still think we missed a little star there, but I think we got the best deal out of it as well.
I think it goes back all the way to Mr. Hughes that just upset him, and he's never wanted to be back at Bradford at all.
Yeah, but Hughes were a morbid little ... Everybody.
Yeah, but it don't make any difference. It has an effect on players that's under him, doesn't it? And he signed him, so I'd rather have Banks any day a week.
100%.
So moving on, guys and girls. So Callie's just in time for, do you want to chat about, shout about, vent about anything? Starting off with Tony and working our way across.
No, not really. I think it's all good at the moment.
Diane?
No.
Lee?
Yeah, I just want to throw a thank you out to the Chickens website people that helped me in a recent acquisition of a scarf, which is a picture now. Badges are being applied. I put a picture up today, so thank you to everybody that helped me locate that, because it's not exactly the same as my old one, because it's not as long, but 6'7", you know.
Bit of it more arm, yeah.
Well, I just think it'll do more for a badge store, and you know, rather a bit of nostalgia.
Just to add a bit of an add to that, if you want to get your sent over to Bradford City, up the Chickens on Facebook, get yourself over there. That's the page Lee's on about. Bit of free advertising thrown in there. Right, Callie, what's your, do you want to chat about, vent about anything?
Do you know what? I haven't got out to moan about today, which is quite good, because I think we're playing well, and I think we're showing that we can boss this league this season. So I'm quite happy with things at the minute, how it goes. Yeah, I haven't got a bad thing to say. Carlisle game was rocking. The atmosphere, it was the first time I'd sat in my season seat on Saturday. It was the first home game I managed to get to, and the atmosphere were absolutely rocking. So much better now that they're at side of me in B block. I didn't see any trouble. Nobody were moaning. Nobody were telling anybody to sit down. It was just bouncing and singing, and exactly how the cop should be. So yeah, I'm quite happy.
And last but not least, Robbie.
Injuries for me. I'd like more update on the injuries.
Strapping myself in.
Baldwin obviously been out, supposed to be 4 weeks. Nice to hear on the update of him. Who else is Sarcevic already out, which looks to be an elbow or an arm situation with him. And another one which I haven't really heard much about is Callum Johnson, since there's been absolute silence from them. Obviously, loads of rumours going around saying career ending, blah blah blah. If it is that, I think Mansfield's done one over us there. But yeah, like because obviously I can't speak. Like we got told more updates and whatever, but I can't really see much of the updates coming out.
I've seen one about Sarth today that it's not looking good. It's going to be 4 to 5 months, whatever it is he's got. I don't remember what he said he had, but I think it was his knee. I think it's his knee.
Yeah, he with Alexander on his interview, wasn't it? I saw that. Johnson apparently is running on grass again now, but only with medical staff. But you're right. I've got the same rant, which I would have gone on to say. It's communication from club is just rubbish. Do we even count?
Right, strap yourself in, because I've got a vent. And that vent goes to a different Facebook group, what I've seen on social media. And I'm not going to go into detail because I don't want to get myself into trouble.
Carry on.
But there's a doll, what has been on social media on a different Facebook group, and people have been basically racist to this doll. I'm not going to go into much, but if you
was it a knitted one by any chance?
John,
yes,
you know what?
a doll. A doll,
like a child's doll.
I'll chat to you after, Callie.
I'm absolutely bewildered with this.
Marmalade that he's on about.
So there's a doll, and basically it's not a kid's doll, it's a racist doll. And there's been a lot of racism on this certain Facebook group, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. The club need to act on this.
I agree.
People who have been caught commenting on this and saying racist stuff, the club need to say, kick it out, report it, get them banned from Bradford City, because the comments I reading was bang out of order. And obviously I'll ring in a bit, Callie, and tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you on the podcast, but I'll tell you in a bit.
I've got Lenny's just showing me now on her phone. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I've actually
bring everybody back in. Why didn't nobody tell me? What's on your plate, Tony?
No, because it's only 4:45 where I am.
You mute us as...
I haven't
I
been
couldn't
out from a
speak.
tea
I had to
yet.
go to your TikTok.
Yeah, so what's on your plate, Diane?
I've had pizza tonight. I really fancied pizza.
You just having a plain pizza?
It was pepperoni, actually.
Can't go wrong with them meats, can you, Diane? Right, moving on to Lee. What's on your plate?
I'm having chowder in a hole, mashed potatoes, and some peas and carrots, and plenty of gravy.
Thick gravy? Thick gravy, Lee?
Oh yes, proper job.
Just because Callie's here, is it thick or thin sausages?
Thick.
Can't beat a big sausage.
No.
That sounds disgusting. Oh, don't Walsall have big hot dogs?
Battered or unbattered?
What about yourself?
No, they're not
Like what's on
battered and
your
they're told in the hole, are they? They're going to be battered in a bit, though.
I haven't got out on my plate yet because I'm still at the horses, so I'll. I don't even know what I'm having. I haven't even thought about it yet.
Is it a vet in attendance?
I'll message you all individually when I've got it on my plate later on, so you all can rest easy tonight.
What about yourself, Robbie?
Chicken and mushroom, a pot noodle while I'm at work, so I can't complain.
Happy days. I should actually ask you, Robbie, what's the latest odds from William Hill or other providers? What betting providers you work for?
What, on Bradford to get promoted?
Yeah.
Let's have a look for you. Just give me 20 seconds.
Okay. So while Robbie is doing that, I'll have to do a lot of editing again. Typically, it always happens. A lot of editing skills today.
You love it.
I hate editing. I just like to put it out raw and uncut, but sometimes I do have to do a bit of editing. So, Robbie, have we got the latest betting odds for Bradford City to get promoted?
Not that fast. Let's have a look for you. So the outrights, the favourites are Doncaster, Chesterfield 6-1 and Bradford 7-1.
Okay. So can we name the company, Robbie? What's that at?
Still worth a cheeky fiver then, aren't they?
William Hill.
A tenner.
Top three finish.
They sell for £5 on Bradford City to get promoted.
Top three finishes 13-8. And then for Bradford to finish in top 7 is 1-2 odds on, which is nice to see.
And Robbie, I just thought of a really good feature.
Oh God.
What I'm introducing next week.
Top scorer is Andy Cook. His favourite is at 8-1.
I'm having Robbie's betting tips, and I'll come to you every Friday, and we can see what bettings are. If you're working or not working. Okay, 10 silence is yeah. We can go ahead with that. Right. So, take 2. Thank you everybody for coming along today from Tony, Diane, Lee, Callie, Robbie, and thank you very much TikTok. 10.4 likes on TikTok. If you like what you're hearing, get yourself over to Bradford City, up the Chickens Facebook page. Get you sent over to Bradford City Chickens on the Loose podcast on all podcast services, also on YouTube and other social sites. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Come on, City. Let's beat Walsall tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night.
As glory days. So let's all rally round and really make a sound that echoes across the valley from our city's football ground.
Bradford are in the Premier League. Bradford are in the Premier League.
City till I die, city till I die. I know I am, I'm sure I'm Bradford City till I die, city till I die, city till I die. I know I am, I'm sure I'm Bradford City till I die.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.